What's going on, guys? John with ProCut, and I'm back up here on the Gables house build. You can see I got a pile of 2-inch rigid foam insulation, a pile of 7/16 zip system sheathing, and I'm going to go ahead and get this wall I framed out yesterday sheathed and hopefully stood up. So I couldn't find anything supporting my theory, but I'm going to go for it, and you guys can eviscerate me in the comment section if you think I've screwed up or if I should have done something a little bit different. Let me know. So I'm going to use construction adhesive. I'm going to put down on all my framing, and then I'm going to put down my 2-inch foam, and then I'm going to stagger my joints and I'm going to put my zip system down. Well, I'm going to tape the joints on the foam, and then I'm going to put my zip down, and I'm going to use 4-inch GRKs to put the zip through the foam into the framing, and then I'm going to tape the joints, of course. So let me know if you do something a little bit different and I'll show you exactly what I've got planned. So I've used Loctite Power Grab Heavy Duty on all the framing, and then I laid down my 2-inch foam. I started it, I went 18 1/8 off of the bottom because that's going to be my overhang to cover the floor framing, and then came up to the top and then staggered my joints. And now I'm going to saw this top off because I'm going to start my zip sheathing at the top and go down and then saw the excess zip off at the bottom. That way all my joints are somewhat staggered. But before I put on the zip, I'm going to tape these joints and cut off this excess. And to hold everything to the framing, I'm going to use these GRK number 10 by 4-inch. That'll give me plenty of penetration into the framing after going through the zip and the 2 inches of rigid foam. And I'm just going to use Tyvek tape for the seams on my foam, and then of course I have zip system flashing tape for the seams of the zip. So I've marked the end of my framing at the top cap and snapped a chalk line. So now I'll get my circular saw and I'll rip this edge of the foam off. Of course, here comes the rain. I've got the first 3 sheets of zip all screwed down. I'm working on the 4th, so 2 more for that row and then 3 for the final row. And I put my stuff under a piece of foam, so hopefully this rain is just a quick drizzle and nothing more. But yeah, it's less than ideal to get this shit wet before I have time to tape it. And I was wondering why my radio stopped working, but my wife just came up here and said that the power's out. So the power's been out for a while because that radio stopped working a while ago. Hopefully it comes back on soon because it's almost dinner time. And the fat boy likes to eat. Oh, let's try and get this thumbnail. Zip Systems. Come on, Huber. I need a sponsorship. This stuff is getting expensive. So I've got 1 seam and 2 little seams taped, and I'm working on my last 3 sheets. I'm halfway, or a little bit more than halfway through with screwing that 2nd sheet on, and then got 1 more sheet to screw down, and then tape the long seam and the 4 short seams. And then the next step will be to cut out my 3 window openings. All right, now I've got everything cut to size on the sides and on the bottom edge. So now I can go ahead and measure and mark my windows so I can get my 3 windows cut out, and then it'll be ready to stand up.